I've seen several humans get shredded, and then if they could fight off the reptilian and get to the humans, they would bring it back, throw them in a med bed, rejuvenate them, grow everything back, heal them, and put them right back into the battle. If the reptilians started getting wise, and if they wounded 10 or 15 humans and kept up the battle at a point where they could get to the humans, they would take the humans hostage. This way they couldn't be rejuvenated, have things grown back, limbs or whatever, and be put back in a battle. And that's what's going on now.
Patriots. I just wanted to say thank you to all of my subscribers, as well as those who have donated to my channel. I couldn't maintain this channel without you, and your support is greatly appreciated. If you would like to make a donation, there is a Stripe link in the description. And with that said, let's go ahead and start the update. Hello, Patriots. So I have Commander Thor on the phone for interview number 3. And I know that we were supposed to do this last Sunday, but due to unforeseen circumstances, had to delay it. So I'm glad we could finally do this. Commander Thor, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Mary. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much. And how are things going with Geneva?
Eradication. That's what we're doing. Just eradicating everything that we can find that's non-human. Everything they create and everything that decides to join a fight, we're taking them out. We're making puddles out of them. We're knocking them into prison realms. We're vaporizing them. No injuries to any of my family, and no injuries or death. Everything's going well.
Okay, very good. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the first question. What are the high energy beings that you have mentioned in one of your comments in the past?
Okay, the high energy beings. Okay, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. They were one of the first creations of God. They went through the density levels, just like humans are doing now, through ascension process. And over millions of years, evolved into just pure energy. They can take shape or form of anything that they want to communicate with, but they normally don't. They observe. And when they see conflict regarding evil throughout the galaxy, they intervene. If the light beings aren't present, or if the light beings are needing help. So, in my comment, I believe it was several videos ago, I stated that we were notified that the energy beings were coming in, and they were coming in with gloves off. Meaning they have been observing what has been taking place on Earth, And then they noticed that there are, I want to say, 5D to 7D beings that are in a parallel realm. Like if a human was 5D, they could see into other realms. They can't enter them, but they could see in. Now, these beings, I want to say, are probably 7D. They're hopping in and out of this realm and their realm, and they're creating chaos, and they're straight evil, and they're fighting along with the reptilian and the draconian and the chimera and the serpents and the red jelly monsters who we eradicated. We haven't seen them since. So they're hopping in, and they have an evil agenda which is unknown to the light beings. The energy beings have observed this, and that's when they told us continue with our eradication, and that they were going to take care of these beings that are hopping in and out of this universe. So these beings are called para-terrestrials, and the para is just parallel realm. You do have parallel universes, but this is a parallel realm right next to the Earth realm, 3D realm, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And so the energy beings observed this and knew that the light beings, we have our hands full, and that we're not capable of jumping into different realms to eradicate that evil. So being one of the first creations of God and ascending out in 13D, where they're just energy, they only have to use thought, and they can go anywhere they want in any universe, which there are many multi-universes, parallel dimensions, parallel realms. So that being that was on the airplane that woman saw, that's one of these 7D beings that are popping into this realm. Now, no one knows what their agenda is, but we do know they're evil. And when he closed his eyes from side to side instead of up to down, well, that's when we knew where he was coming from. So the higher energy beings are coming in, and when this evil jumps from realm into this realm, the higher energy beings are taking them out. These 7D beings do not have the capabilities to fight these higher energy beings. And what they are doing is they're jumping into this realm, creating whatever evil they're creating, whatever, taking part in whatever agenda they have. And then when the energy beings or the light beings become aware of their presence, they jump back out into the other realm that they came from. The energy beings are eradicating them here, and then when they jump into the other realm, the energy beings are capable of going into that realm and taking them out over there. So we were just notified of this, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, whenever I posted that comment, mm-hmm. and aware of them being here. And they're not a reptilian. We aren't really sure what they are. I want to say they are maybe a offshoot species of a reptilian, only because of the eyes and the way they closed. But there
Wow.
are so many different species of reptilian and draconian that it's hard to narrow it down. But it doesn't matter. I mean, they're evil, and now the energy beings, along with the ascended masters and the angels from the parallel realms, have come in. And like I stated in our last interview, a friend of mine who was 5D said that Mother Mary came into him carrying a baseball bat. So all beings of light, all beings of God are here on earth, and they're eradicating anything and everything that is not from earth, that is not of God. And that includes hybrids, everything that we're eradicating under the ground. And now these, I want to say, a species of, or a race of reptilian or draconian.
Mm-hmm.
All that video, I saw that thing's face when someone videotaped it, and I could see the evil being under the facade. I could tell who it was. I didn't know where it came from. The energy beings notified us of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I did see. I could see right through the mask or the shape shifting. But yeah, so that's why the energy beings are in, because of beings like that who are jumping realms and causing chaos and killing people and just doing what they want to do. I don't know if they're in alliance with the Dracos and the Reptos, and now the Serpents. I have no idea. All I know is that the energy beings were observing, watching over and making sure the fight was going well. And they observed these beings jumping in, so that's why they're here.
Okay, so that's really interesting about the entity that's on the plane. A lot of people had wondered about that. That woman must have been terrified. Whatever she saw, you could tell that she was terrified. But that leads me into my next question, which is what are the different types of entities that you're coming across when you're underground? And like for example, the serpents and the different the red blob, jelly blob that you had said. Can you tell us a little bit, if there's anything else that you've seen, or just tell us a little bit about those entities?
Okay, so I thought that the red jelly mold blobs came from the bowels of hell, but from my research, I was told that they are, some are meta-terrestrials that are time travelers, and some are paraterrestrials that come from a parallel universe and just found their way to Earth and decided to stay. Now, I don't know if I'm pretty sure that the reptilian and draconian manipulated them into being not bodyguards, but warning signals as to when we were coming. I don't know if they're using telepathy to let the draconian and reptilian know that we were coming, so that they could, get farther and away and go into different offshoot tunnels and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Like decoys.
Well, not decoys, more like a warning system.
Mm-hmm.
It was set up to, I guess, they weren't told, that their lives were going to be taken. And I'm sure if they were told that, they wouldn't agree to it. But so the Dracos and the Reptos, set them up in different tunnels that they were trying to escape through.
Mm-hmm.
and used them, like I said, as a warning system. So I'm assuming there was telepathy involved, that they were sending to the alligators and the crocodiles so that they could, go farther, go in different directions, whatever they had to do. So, but we encountered them for, I don't know, maybe a week, and we eradicated every single one of them. We couldn't make puddles out of them because they were like jello. So, and I thought they came from the bowels of hell because they just appeared coming up through the levels. But little did I know, they either time traveled here or they came to visit and decided to stay, because there's groups called the Interactors. They're small groups of aliens who have decided to interfere with, human history and make changes. And then there's a small group of aliens who have decided to live among us, which would be the colonizers. And then you have the neutrals, who just came to observe civilization and never fear. So I don't know, like I said, I'm pretty sure they were manipulated into, I don't know what kind of deals were made. All I know is they appeared and we just vaporized them. When these jelly molds get upright and bend the top of that mold backwards, and these mouths come out and these arms appear, and it looks like these small weapons. We didn't wait to find out, what kind of damage they could do. We just vaporized them on the spot and got on with our mission. And so now, as of, I believe, last week, all these days are running into each other when you're underground. So I want to say last week the serpents showed up. Now, the serpents have been on the planet as well longer than humans. And then when humans evolved and were capable of building structures and building weapons, whether it be a spear or a knife, whatever, the serpents decided that they were going to try to lord over the humans and make believe they were the gods and that they were here first. And the humans fought back. And I believe I mentioned to you, anyone who has ever seen statues around the planet or pictographs or just sketches and drawings on rock, you will see, it may have been in South America, you will see one of these serpent beings, female with breast, breastfeeding a baby serpent. And when they tried to be thought that they were going to be gods over the earthlings, over the humans fought back and started killing them and drove them underground. So how far down, I don't know that they went. But I guess they were looking for some, payback for how the humans were killing them and injuring them and saying no to them and sending them underground. So now they're in the fight. And they have arms and legs and they have weapons. And they've been on the planet, probably a couple thousand years or so longer than a modern human. I'm not talking about Cro-Magnon man or anything like that. I mean, they were here way before then. But it wasn't until the humans were able to fight back and send them underground. And there's reports of them everywhere. A lot of cave dwellers, cave expeditions. They will see serpents running up and down walls. trying to hide because they were caught. There's videos of them, outside. So, I mean, the humans know of them. A lot of humans won't accept it. They only accept that they're the only ones in the universe, and everything revolves around Earth and the humans, and no other beings exist. Well, I'm another being, and I'm not from Earth, and I exist. So, enough of that. People need to open up their eyes and realize that there's a lot of evil on this planet, and we're here to help eradicate them.
Okay.
Along with the energy beings, that's being done. Okay, so I just want to give you an example of some of the beings that are visiting Earth. You have the Greys, the Type 1. They're from the Radial star system. You got the Greys Type 2 from Zeta Reticuli, 1 and 2 solar systems. They have the same appearance, but they have a different finger arrangement, a slightly different face, and these Greys are more sophisticated than the Type 1s. They possess a degree of common sense and are somewhat passive. Then you have the Greys Type 3. They're a simple cloning form of Types 1 and 2, which is what the Reptilian and Draconian did. They got their hands on these Greys and started cloning them as their workers, their slaves, whatever. And then you have the Nordics and the Blondes and the Swedes, and they're all known by these names. Blonde hair, blue eyes, some have dark hair, brown eyes, some are shorter in height. They will not break the law of non-interference to help humans.
Mm-hmm.
Humans have to ask for help, which I've said in several comments. Humans have to give up their free will so that these beings can intervene and help eradicate. Okay, and then you have the Nordic clones. They're similar to humans, but they have like a gray tinge to their skin. These Nordics are controlled drones, and they're created by the Greys Type 1. And then you have intradimensional, non-paraterrestrial entities that can assume a variety of shapes, basically of a peaceful nature. Then you have the short humanoids, 1.5 to 2.5 feet tall. Skin is bluish in color, and they're seen frequently in Mexico near Chihuahua. And then you have the hairy dwarfs, orange. They're approximately 4 feet tall, weigh about 30 pounds, and their hair color is red, mm-hmm. and they seem to be neutral and respect intelligent life forms. And then you have the very tall race. They look like humans, but are 7 to 8 feet tall, and they are united with the Swedes. So that would be the beings that created the people, the Swedish people. Now, a lot of people are going to disagree with that and say God created everyone, but God created everything, and these beings go around to different planets, and they create beings. So
God works through them.
Yes, if you're a being of light, if you're a being of God, God created you. Now you have God in you, so that makes you a God. So all humans are gods. All humans have a soul, and they're gods because God created humans. Therefore, you're a part of God. Now, if humans had the capabilities of creating other beings of light, of God, they would, but they don't because they're not ascended. So these higher dimensional beings that are of God will go around to different planets. And like I said, the beings from Eden are the seeders. They will go to different planets and they will see different beings. Now, these beings are all of God. They don't create evil. And then after a million years, those beings that were created will go out and create other beings on other planets. So it's just one way of filling up the universe and multi-universes with beings of God. And that's what will help drive the evil out of existence once and for all. When you have planets all throughout the galaxies and universes that are being seeded from beings of God, then those beings evolve and do the same thing. Then it gets to the point where evil has nowhere to go. They can't hide and they can't run, and then they get eradicated. That's how you clean up the universe.
Wow, that's interesting. And so basically God, and this is the way I see it, the light of God kind of, when we're born, the spark of light that comes, that's the light of God. And so if you're of God and you're of love, then, it's all from the same place, the Creator.
Right. So God created humans in His image, in His likeness. Therefore, humans have God in them. Therefore, humans are gods.
Okay.
It's real simple. If the devil created a being, that being would be a devil.
I see.
So
Okay.
that's why the devil has so many names, because the devil's running around the universe creating different evil beings, different names, but they're all devils.
I've heard that. I think it was Jesse Zabodar had said that there were so many names for Satan, like Baphomet, and just there was a whole slew of different names throughout history for the same being, basically, the same evil being.
Right,
So.
But now you got to understand, Satan's creating other evil beings, and they're assigned names. So you could take, if Satan created 1,000 different beings, and they're all demons and they're all devils, and they all have different names, if you say one of those names, it pertains to the devil himself.
Okay.
They are devils, therefore their name refers to the devil who created them. So yes, the devil's going to have many, many, many different names, because the devil created many, many, many evil things.
Okay, that's that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right. So yesterday in my video, you had sent me some pictures of Mars, and I wanted to ask you if you could describe a little bit more about the surface of Mars, because we were always taught that it has red. It's basically red. But I saw that the pictures you sent, it didn't quite look that way.
Well, that's because it's not. That was NASA putting a red filter over any pictures that were released to say it's a red planet, it's desolate, it's barren, there's no life, it's all a lie. Humans, the first human mission to Mars was in, I want to say the late 50s. I actually have the video of the astronauts looking out the window at Mars as they were landing. Mars has a blue sky, has oxygen. Yes, it is desolate in parts. but the dirt it's just brown dirt. There are structures on Mars, and I'm not talking about the pyramid or the face. Yeah, that's real. But NASA, when NASA lost one of their rovers on Mars, I can't remember which one it was.
I know there's Curiosity and.
I can't remember which one they lost. They lost one of them, but what it was, there were new digital satellite pictures of the face on Mars, and it's a face. I mean, I know it's a face because I've seen it. I've been on Mars. No one's going to believe that. I really don't care. So the face was probably, I don't know, I want to say a mile long, half a mile wide, and it's the face of the Martians, the Martian people.
Mm-hmm.
And then when those pictures surfaced, NASA put out a statement that said, well, we're going to do another flyby and take some more pictures. But what they ended up doing, and really, to this day, I don't know how they did it, but they lost one of the rovers that was over by the face. And supposedly the rover exploded. And destroyed part of the face. And then they did their satellite flyover and took pictures and then put the pictures out and said, oh no, look, this is what the face looks like. It's not even a face, you know, it was sunlight distortion and this and that, and, you know, with their red filter and all the other garbage. But yeah, it was an actual face. NASA destroyed it. But they can't destroy the pyramids. So the pyramids are quite invisible.
So my guess is that the elite cabal that owns everything, you know, all these different agencies that they run these different agencies. A lot of the things that happened in NASA happened, but some things were kept from the public, and the fact that Mars had life on it, all that stuff was decidedly kept from us, and we were given a different story. Is that correct?
Yeah, they can't tell you things about Mars because they would have to rewrite every history book, and they don't want to do that. So it's better to hide it. You know, when these archaeologists say that humans weren't on the planet during the dinosaurs, and then they come across a fossilized dinosaur footprint with a human footprint in it, in the middle of it, that's a big cover-up. Can't have that. It's got to have to change all the history books. So NASA is, you know, never a straight answer. So, I mean, yeah, they keep things for a reason, because not necessarily because of the cabal, but because they would have to rewrite history, and they're not looking to do that. So, yeah, Mars is most of Mars is desolate, and that was due to the nuclear bombs that the Pleiadians dropped on there because when the reptilians were chased off Earth, well, a lot went underground, but most left Earth, went to the moon, and were chased off the moon. They went to Phobos, Mars' moon. Mm-hmm. And that battle just completed, I'm going to say, within the last 2 years. They were just pretty much eradicated from Phobos, but the remaining ones went to Mars. And now they're the super soldiers there on Mars who are fighting these reptilians. The Dracos aren't there, it's just the reptilian. And then, you know, there's oxygen on Mars. There are structures on Mars. I have, and I'll send you the picture. I have a picture of a dinosaur leg, and I guess you'd call them toenails. I don't know what you call them, claws. I don't know, big foot claws. Mm-hmm. I could send you that picture. You could put it on one of your videos.
Okay, yeah, that would be great.
But and then you have the mantis, who some people describe as reminding them of monks. Mm-hmm. they are observing the war between the humans and the reptilian, and then you have the Martians who live underground.
Mm-hmm.
So the super soldiers are in this war. I was there. I witnessed it. I've seen several humans get shredded, and then if they could fight off the reptilian and get to the humans, they would bring it back, throw them in a med bed, rejuvenate them, grow everything back, heal them, and put them right back into the battle. If the reptilians started getting wise, and if they wounded 10 or 15 humans and kept up the battle at a point where they could get to the humans, they would take the humans hostage. This way they couldn't be rejuvenated, have things grown back, limbs or whatever, and be put back in a battle. And that's what's going on now. So there's a lot of hostages. Humans don't take hostages. They're just eradicating what they can. The reptilian are trying to take as many humans out of the fight as possible by gathering up the wounded and taking them back to their dens, whatever, to hide now. And, either letting them die or just keeping them there as hostage.
Wow.
And there's structures on the moon, ancient structures from the Martians. And there's also human structures there now that there are several groups of scientists on Mars doing God knows what, but they have super soldier protection. And then there's different human settlements around the planet. That big, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a big crater with, looks like spider legs running off of it. That's what planes dropped massive nukes, which prior to gathered up as many Martians as they could and took them off planet and brought them to Earth. The other Martians who didn't want to leave went underground when the Pleiades provided for them, to keep them alive, and they're still providing for them. The other Martians are in South America, Amazon jungle, and like I believe I said before, they're under Santa Fe Baldy Mountain, living under there. And there's several other underground and above ground facilities, because if a Martian walks by you, you would think it was, a South American person.
Right.
But there's always something a little odd about them that you have to turn around and look back. And a lot of them will walk around with a lot of makeup on, covering up that third eye they have.
Oh, okay.
So if some of that makeup is starting to peel off, and it's just say they're walking down the street, and you look at them and you're like, what the heck? Why does he have a hole in his head? Because they don't realize it's wearing off. But yeah, so the Martians are on the planet and underground, and right now there's just a battle going on. But yeah, blue skies, oxygen, dirt, there's water. Sent you a picture of a well. And then, like I said, I'll send you a picture of the dinosaur leg that was there. So this is all stuff that NASA hides. And there's never going to be a mission to Mars from anyone on the planet. Everyone on the planet's trying to gear up and get private companies and private corporations to fund a mission to Mars. But it's not going to happen. Because humans are on Mars and they're fighting a war.
Yeah.
This is why when NASA sends something, and I don't even think NASA's aware of what's going on as far as the human settlements there and the war going on. And they send things over. I think the last thing they sent was a drone. I think they had a drone that they had landed, and it was supposed to, take off and fly around and take pictures. Well, that malfunctioned real quick because it was taken out, by either the humans or the reptilian. One of them took it out. So there's never going to be any private corporations sending anything to Mars. the humans that are on there now, the Secret Space Force and Solar Warden, they won't allow anyone to come there and end up putting themselves in danger or end up letting the people of Earth know what's going on. That's not going to happen. So
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So an ongoing battle still going on there. Nobody wants to have them come in the middle of that.
yeah, and report it back to Earth. I go, well, this is what's going on. There's people here fighting a war with these alligators and whatever crocodile-looking things, and then like they're going to think that the people in that mission lost their mind on the way there. That it took them 6 months to get there.
Yeah.
So no, it'll never happen. Nothing's going to happen with Mars until that war is over. But things are getting leaked out. I'm leaking things out, and I'll leak out as much as I want. I really don't care.
Well, we appreciate the knowledge. It's, it's good to know what's going on. I know that I listened to James Rink and his channel, Super Soldier Talk, right? I think that's the name. And excellent. He interviews lots and lots of people from these programs, and they talk sometimes. There's some that have talked about just what you've said. So, that goes along with, what's happening on the surface of Mars. So it's not just here on Earth, I guess. It's everywhere.
Well, so the people that James is talking to, these are super soldiers who have recovered memories.
Mm-hmm.
And they immediately want to talk because there's always a chance that they will lose those memories.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so they know of him because James Rink is a clone. He was cloned a long time ago. I don't know where the original James is, but I know he's a clone, and he knows he's a clone.
Interesting.
And he really doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's no different. You could wake up one morning and, have been cloned, and your original body's gone, but you still have the memories of everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have any awareness that anything happened.
Interesting.
But he was told he was cloned, and they told him who did it and why, and that's why he does the Super Soldier Talk. So yes, a lot of these men and women that come to him have recovered memories, and they want to get those memories out as quick as possible. And James pretty much is the only one that they can do that with.
Wow. It's clones, that's going to be a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, but apparently it's coming out more and more, like these companies that actually clone animals, Clonaid, and in Canada, they've been doing this a while, but it's not advertised and it's not talked about. But
well, like I said, the reptilian can clone anything, and they can clone a human and have a full-grown human in 2 weeks.
wow, that's just that's
So
so incredible.
if the hybrids aren't able to bring, we'll say, food down to them, the last beings that they have down there with them, they'll clone them.
Wow. Okay.
And then they'll grow their own food, and whatever else they do to torture these children, and a lot of the women are used to be impregnated with the Draco and reptilians' DNA to produce more hybrids. But the clones are different from the hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
And they need the hybrids so the hybrids can, go on the surface and mix in with the humans and do their evil deeds.
Right.
You got two different things going on there, but it doesn't matter. We're eradicating everything. I mean, it's like a amusement park down there. They pop out and say boo, and we take their heads off. So it's fun.
Okay. Well, goodness, thank you very much for all of this information. And I'm going to stop you there for, we'll carry on with another interview sometime soon. Thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I just want to say that, humans have to open their eyes and stop believing that no beings from space can come here because of the Van Allen radiation belts, all that. None of that makes sense. What is being put out there? Right now there's a minimum of 160 different beings visiting this planet, and some come through portals, which would be Antarctica. There were 12 portals at one time. They got closed down. The only active one right now is in Antarctica, which is guarded. And they can come through that because Space Force can't stop beings that they don't know, that they aren't aware of, from coming through. Other beings fly through space, go through wormholes, end up in Earth's atmosphere, and land on the planet. And there's over 160 species on this planet. So for humans to say there's no space, Earth is flat, there's no planets, there's no stars, really have to open their eyes and wake up, because this planet is being invaded, and myself and my families and now the energy beings are here to eradicate what all these people are saying don't exist. So if they don't exist, then I don't know what I'm doing down there and what I'm killing, because they exist.
Yeah.
They blew me up. They blew my legs apart. So
yeah,
just really have to open their eyes and accept the fact that there are other beings out there, and many are evil, and many have found Earth, and many are visiting, and many are doing really bad things. So when you have Mother Mary carrying a bat, and the Ascended Masters and the angels from a parallel realm, and God calling on the light beings, and now the energy beings coming in, that should be a wake-up call to humanity that there's evil here, and it wasn't born and grown here. It flew here and landed. So that's all I want to say. Like I said, I'm not going to change, people's minds. They're going to believe what they want. But, if you want to get out of that lower 3D and maybe start trying to ascend, you have to open your eyes and your hearts and your soul and start realizing what is going on this planet and how you can help.
Right.
So I'll just leave it at that, Mary.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and I look forward to another interview with you soon. Thank you for your time, and thank you for always leaving comments in the comment section and replying to Patriots. I know they really appreciate it, and it just keeps everyone informed, even though some people are trolls and they're just there to be negative. That's, pretty clear. Besides those trolls, the rest of the Patriots really do appreciate your, spending so much time replying to them and giving them information. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and I would just like to thank the Patriots for all the beautiful prayers and blessings for the children and for my families. Everything helps, and it's just another coat of armor that we put on. We feel the blessings and the prayers, and we appreciate it. And I appreciate the Patriots. I appreciate all the positivity, and I appreciate the fact that they are sharing positivity with each other, and also with you as the creator of your site. And if I had more time, I would answer every single one of the questions. I spent, I think, 4.5 hours one night answering approximately 50 comments, the replies that they put towards me. And, like I said, in my comments, I'll say that I'm not trying to ignore you. I just don't have the time. But when I don't have the time, then I'll spend 4 or 5 hours and respond. I just can't say when that's going to be, but I just want them to know that I appreciate them, and I appreciate the fact that they appreciate you and everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you very much. Again, giving up your time, you're spending time down underground, risking your life, and then you come up and answer replies on in the comment section. So you are doing everything you can, I know, to wake people up and fight and eradicate evil. So big thank you to you and your Light Being families.
Well, thank you, Mary. And when I come up, I'm on the ground. When I'm down there, I'm smiling, and when I come up, I'm smiling. And when I read the Patriots' comments, my smile gets even bigger. So everything is good. Everything is good and well, and I appreciate you and appreciate the work that you do. And if there were more words on Rumble more letters you're allowed to use, my praise towards you and the Patriots would be 4,000 letters instead of 2,000. The Rumble limit that they put on me. So.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say, and just thank you very much. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Mary, and tell the Patriots I said hello.
I will. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hang up now. Thank you again.
You're welcome, Mary. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. You too. Okay, bye-bye.
Right, well, bye-bye.